Hello, this is Group 5, and our group have 3 members, Hùng, Linh, Linh, and me, Ngọc. The topic today I want to talk to you is about 3 circles of English. And first of all, I want to share with you about the basis of the topic today. It is word English. So what is word English? It refers to the emergence of localized or indigenized varieties of English, especially varieties that have developed in nations colonized by Great Britain or influenced by the United States. When classifying word Englishes, we base on the group of users, the second one we base on the region, and the last one we base on the social status. And in terms of the group of users, we have those who speak English as a native language, abbreviated to ENL or L1. The second one, those who speak English as a second language, abbreviated to ESL or L2. And the last one, those who speak English as a foreign language, like in Vietnam, and abbreviated to EFL. Now, let's talk about it more detail. English as a native language. It is a language of those born and raised in one of the countries where English is historically the first language to be spoken, and it's mainly in the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and there are about 300 to 500 million speakers. The next group, English as a second language. It is a language spoken in a large number of territories which were once colonized by the English. For example, India, Nigeria, Singapore, and there are about 320 to 380 million speakers in this group. And last but not least, English as a foreign language. Language of those for whom it serves no purpose within their own countries. Historically, EFL were learned to use the language with its native speakers in the US and the UK. Surprisingly, there is about 1 million speakers with reasonable competence in this group. Okay, there are some types of models of the spread of English, but I want to talk about the case of Kachru with his 3 circle models of word Englishes. He divided the word Englishes into 3 concentric circles. The first of these circles would be the inner circle. It represents the English as a native language. It consists of the traditional English-speaking regions where English has spread demographically through the immigration of English-speaking peoples to the lands, and where English is the primary language of its current populace. The next circles would be the outer circle, which consists of the regions that had undergone an extended period of colonization by some members or the members of the inner circle. English is one additional language available to the others that were already available to the local populations, intrinsically tied to the colonial experience and any cultural political baggage that may entail. It represents the English as a second language, ESL. And the last of the circles would be the expanding circle, which consists of the regions where English is an important foreign language, and the performance varieties in use by these populations provide them with a means of international communication. And it represents the last group, English as a foreign language. Kachru differentiates the various speech fellowships into 3 types, namely norm-providing, norm-developing, and norm-depending. The non-providing fellowships are those which have traditionally provided or at least have been thought of as being competent to provide the norms of use of the language and comes from the areas where English has traditionally been spoken. The non-developing fellowships are those populations where disagreements exist between perceived models of language uses and actual language uses. The key point being that local norms do exist but are not universally accepted and are challenged internally by the perceived superiority of external norms. And the non-dependent fellowships are those that are mainly dependent on external models of uses and do not make a case for locally based standards of uses and use. Bringing this back to the three concentric model, the connection is made between the non-providing fellowships and the inner circle, the non-developing ones and the outer circle, and the non-dependent ones and the expanding circle. Now you can look at the screen now. Now we can see the populations in each circles. The first one, the expanding circle, is recorded with the biggest figure in China. The outer circle, we have the biggest figure is in Nigeria, and the last one, the inner circle, in USA with the biggest figures. Also, there are some kinds of notes from Kachru. For Kachru, the outer circle and the expanding circle of the three concentric model may not be clearly demarcated from one another due to possible changes over time of the local language policies and attitudes towards the languages available to the people involved. Thus, an outer circle population may become an expanding circle one with changes in situation, context, and attitudes over time, and vice versa. On the other hand, no such mechanism is mentioned for the case of the inner circle with either of the other circles. This possibly suggests that the inner circle is an exclusive grouping, what Kachru calls the traditional cultural and linguistic base of English. Also, I want to talk about the limitations with Kachru's model. The first one, because it is based on geography and history, rather than the speaker's use of English. The second one is about the gray area between the inner and outer circles, as well as the outer and expanding circle. The next one is the words bilingual or multilingual speakers are not taken into account. Next, difficulties of using the model to define speakers in terms of their proficiencies in English. Next one, because it does not account for the linguistic diversity within and between countries of a particular circle. And last but not least, the term inner circle implies that speakers from E&L countries are central and may thus be interpreted as superior. And the very interesting aspect today is the English Today debate. They wonder whether English should be changed. Its name into English's. Next one, the outer circle English is still regularly regarded as the first one, interlanguage. It means learner language which has not yet reached the target. And second one, fossilized language. It is a language used when learning has ceased short of native-like competence. And the last one, expanding circle English is even less accepted. So it is the end of the presentation today. Thanks for watching.